What's good, and welcome to a world of enlightenment where knowledge is never ending and each answer is rewarded with more questions. This is the Westside Level Podcast, and today we are about to get into some color EQ to it. Now, before we get into the color EQ, let's just review everything that we've done so far. So this is the session. Let me go ahead and play it.
Brick on them keys and them kicks. Don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk.
That was the session right there. Everything we've done so far. We have EQ'd the lead vocals, cleaned them up. Then we added some de-essing to the lead vocals. We followed that up with a 1176 compressor to thicken up our dynamics in our vocals, the loudest words and the quietest words. So we thickened up those dynamics of our vocals. And then also we followed up our 1176 with a CLA two-way compressor to not thicken up the dynamics, but to thicken up the vocal as a whole. But we do want a unique tone to our vocal to give it some character to make our mix stand out. So we're not going to when doing this, we're not going to want to reach for a clean EQ like the Pro Q2 we use to clean up our vocal. I'm going to reach for something like the Waves Scheps 73. And the reason I choose this EQ is because it's based off of the Neve 1073, which means it's not only coming with EQ, it's coming with harmonic distortion depending on how you drive these knobs in the EQ. With that being said, I'm going to give this EQ a full reset, and then we're going to listen to, we've already listened to our session, how it is. We're going to get directly into EQing our vocal, giving our vocal some color EQ. So here is our vocal with the Scheps 73 plugin engaged. No knobs have been turned yet.
Brick on them keys and them kicks. Don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk. Big dog, don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course.
So it's sounding pretty good just running straight through the unit. But there's a lot of things I want to walk you through with this EQ that can help you bring the most out of it. So the first thing I'm going to want to turn my attention to in this EQ is this preamp section right here that my mouse is circling around. This is also a preamp, but we'll focus on this later. I want to just focus on this preamp section here. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is look at this meter knob, and I'm going to trigger it to be in. What this means is this meter right here is going to show us how hard our signal is going into this unit using this VU meter. With that being noted, I'm going to take this input fader right here and I'm going to drive it until I find a sweet spot, knowing that the more I drive my signal into this unit, it's going to give me some harmonic distortion. So let's go ahead and get directly into that.
Pissed off, I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk. Big dog, don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk.
All right, so the first thing I did here is I took our input fader and I drove it until our VU meter started peaking our vocal signal at around 3 decimals on here on the VU meter. So now that we got that at the level that we wanted in our sweet spot, so to say, we're going to go ahead and use our output fader and we're going to level gain that. We were sitting at about 18 decimals before we drove our input, so we're going to target that for our output.
Brick on them keys and them kicks. Don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy.
All right, perfect. So now we got that level matched. We have our signal just running through our Neve 73, so to say. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at our first knob on our EQ, and that's going to go ahead and be our preamp knob. So the first thing I'm going to do is trigger it on by pressing the preamp button, and then I'm just going to drive this preamp knob. What the preamp knob is going to do, the more I drive it, is it's going to add that harmonic distortion that comes with this 1176 EQ. Now understand that this distortion isn't extreme. It's going to be subtle, and that's a good thing. So we're just getting a little bit of subtle distortion out of here with this preamp knob. That's what I'm gonna go ahead and do right now.
I know they pissed off. I told Rick drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk.
Rick on them keys and them kicks.
Don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed.
All right, so I set my preamp right about where I wanted it at -20 decimals on the plugin. So now we can finally get into some color EQ. Now what's going to be our first move? Knowing our session, if we review first back to when we did some cleanup EQ, we can reflect and see that we took a lot of mid-range out, trying to get rid of those room resonances and giving our vocal that low shelf. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to give us a low shelf boost but we're not going to, because we cut all the way up to around 3,000. We're just going to boost our low shelf at around 100. And what that's going to do is bring some of that low end body back to our vocal and give it a more natural sound. So let me show you how that's done right here.
Up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk.
All right, so what I did just now is I boosted at around 110 hertz on our frequencies scale, 110 hertz at about 2 decimals. So I'm gonna punch this low button in and out, and I just want you to hear this is without our 2 decimal bump at 110 hertz.
Rick on them keys and them kicks.
Don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk.
This is with our 2 decimal bump at 110 hertz. Our low shelf is engaged.
Rick on them keys and them kicks.
Don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk. Big dog.
Perfect. So to me, that did exactly what we were aiming for. It added some body to our vocal and made everything just sound a lot more great. Now, what's the next thing I want to identify when it comes to this vocal? Well, with this mid band, we're going to use it to bring some clarity. And why are we going to do that? Because it gives us access to that 1,000 and up range that I was talking about earlier in our cleanup vocal. So we're going to start at 1,600 hertz, and then we can move our frequencies up, and then we'll see which frequency we like best. And we're going to start with just a 2 decimal boost. So let's go ahead and do that right now.
I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk. Big dog, don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told.
All right, so after giving each frequency a listen, I ended up sitting at around 1,600 hertz. And again, the reason why I did that is because it achieved our goal the best out of all of the frequencies that we were choosing from. And to reflect on our goal for our mid bell band frequency, we were trying to bring clarity to the vocal. Now, 3,200 hertz, that worked. It brought clarity, but And so did 4,800 hertz. It did bring clarity, but I felt like 1,600 hertz, it brought clarity, but also preserved the body too. I felt like the more we were going up to around 3,200 or 4,800 or even 7,200 hertz, we started to lose the body of our vocal. So I wanted to retain that. So let's go ahead and do a quick before and after again. This is without our mid bell band.
I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk.
This is with our middle bell band.
Brick on them keys and them kicks.
Don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk, big dog.
All right, so as you can see, we're starting to add a lot of tone and character, and this is what's going to separate you and give you your own style as an engineer, the fact that you're going and picking your own favorite frequencies. I'm just, in this tutorial or in these Westside level videos, I'm just giving you examples of how to go about it, but no frequency is right. You choose yourself. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and examine our last band, which is going to be a high shelf band. Now, the high shelf band only gives us one frequency to deal with, and that's 12,000. So all I'm going to do is just boost 2 decimals at 12,000.
I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk, big dog. Don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce.
And what that 12,000 shell boost has done, it has given sparkle and brightness to our vocals, and a certain character and a tone that really brings out not just of the vocal, but it also brings out the character of the unit that we're driving the vocal through, which is this 73. But it could be any EQ. That 12K boost, that really brings out the character of the EQ. Now, with all that being examined, we've set all of our bands. The last thing I want to, not the last thing, one thing I want to address right now is this high pass frequency. I'm not going to engage this high pass frequency. And I also didn't engage a high pass frequency when I used our cleanup EQ. And the reason why I didn't do that is because I addressed high passing in our leveling stage. After we gain staged, I used the SSL channel to do the high pass filters for all of that. So it would be unnecessary for me to high pass 3 times. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and ignore this high pass button right here. Next, we have this phase button right here. And the way I can explain phase and polarity, I'll try to give a good one right now. Hopefully I could do a good job. In this example, we have a vocal being balanced against the beat. Both the beat and the vocal share the same frequencies. Now, let's hypothetically say we're thinking about 1,000 hertz as a frequency, 1,000 hertz in the beat, 1,000 hertz in the vocal. If 1,000 hertz in the beat is being turned down or attenuated at the same time that 1,000 hertz is being turned up or boosted in the vocal, what's going to happen is that both of these signals are going to cancel out, and it's going to make the sound a lot more quiet. That explanation that I just explained right now would be considered a situation to where 2 signals are out of phase. So to get these signals back into phase or give them a better phase, we can use this phase button to flip the polarity of one of our signals. So let's say the vocal was being boosted at 1,000 hertz. If I take the phase and I flip it, now the vocal will be now being decreased or attenuated at 1,000 hertz. So we can use flipping the phase and the polarity of our vocals to or of any signal in our mix to get them to better match with other signals in our mix, and it'll overall give us a bigger sound. So that's what we're going to go ahead and check here. We're going to check the phase and polarity and see if all we're going to do now when we click this phase button is to see if our vocal just sounds bigger. What I just explained to you was just the science on why it would sound bigger. All right.
The brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk. Big dog, don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk.
Rick on them keys and them kicks.
Don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course.
Okay, and as you can see in this example, it was a very good thing that we actually checked the phase of this vocal, because as you can see, when we pressed the phase button on this 73 EQ, it just made the vocal jump out a lot more. Let's give that one more listen back and forth.
On them keys and them kicks.
Don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk. Big dog, don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course.
Checking little steps like this again that's what separates the expert engineers, the pro engineers, from the more beginner engineers. So now that we've ran through all of our knobs and addressed everything, let's go back and turn back to our output knob and give everything a final gain stage so we can give everything a final A and B. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now.
Buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk.
All right, so now that I've gone ahead and used that output the output fader to gain stage our vocal, let's give our vocal a listen without color EQ and then with color EQ. Here's without.
Rick on them keys and them kicks.
Don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed
Here's
off. I
with
told Rick,
our
drop a
color
beat, I'm finna
EQ.
shit talk. Big
Rick on them keys and them kicks.
don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk. Big dog, don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna
All right,
shit
and as always, I'm gonna just go do a back and forth, the A and B just punching in and out.
Rick on them keys and them kicks.
Don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick, drop a beat, I'm finna shit talk. Big dog, don't throw that pass, it's getting picked off. I ain't tryna buy a deuce with the brick course. I'm in this Benz acting up, I know they pissed off. I told Rick,
And
drop
that
a beat, I'm
is
finna
how
shit
you
talk.
add color EQ to your vocals. Next episode, we're gonna get into background vocals and what we can do to those, and then we're going to so stay tuned for that. If you, like always, y'all niggas need to give me more likes. No, I'm just playing. Like always, give me a like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments for me. Y'all be smooth. Gone.